Hey guys, what's going on? InsidiousSwede back again here for another YouTube video, and today I am finally bringing you a long overdue manga haul. I do apologize, I had some camera trouble and ended up replacing it altogether, so I've spent a lot of time. Well, first I had to wait for it to come, and then once it got here I had to set it up. I had to do some test videos that I made private on my channel and make sure the quality was good. And now here we are, finally ready to film a proper video, so I apologize for that, but we're back now, and I have a lot of manga to talk about, so let's get into it. This is everything from the month of July that I bought, and it was actually all from the same order. I went on to Right Stuff, as I tend to do for a lot of manga buying, and they were having a pretty good summer sale about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And that's when I placed this order, and that was all the manga that I got in July. So let's get into it. No particular order as per usual. First manga I got was Volume 6 of Hour of the Zombie. As I'll continue to say, this is a very underrated series, and I know that the zombie trope is played out, but I really enjoy it. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. And I do think this is actually a very good series. So if you haven't checked it out yet and are a fan of zombie stories or manga like I Am a Hero, this is definitely a good series to get. After that, I got Volume 5 of Tokyo Ghoul Re. These covers continue to get more and more amazing. I don't know how I feel about the weird little bar here, but overall, I really like how the volumes are designed, and no, I haven't read any Tokyo Ghoul Re yet, guys. I apologize for that. At this point, I might just wait until I get, all of the series, or wait till a certain point. I'm not entirely sure. Not that I don't want to read it, it's just that I have other things to read and other things to do, and Tokyo Ghoul Re is definitely not atop of the list. Here is a new series that I don't really know how to feel about yet. It kind of caught my eye based off of the cover, and I'm pretty sure it's a horror series, but that is Shibuya Goldfish. And I gotta say, I think the cover is brilliant. I think it looks creepy and eerie, while also at the same time very intriguing. Like, why does a goldfish have blood on its mouth? So yeah, definitely probably a horror series. If you want to read the description of the manga, you can pause it now, and there you go. Show off some of the artwork. Yeah, it looks like a pretty crazy series. Should be interesting, to say the very least. However, I probably won't be buying the second volume until I read this first volume, just because I think this has a very high potential to be pretty corny. But if not, and it's great, I'll be definitely picking up Volume 2. Okay, after that, I got Volume 4 of Smokin' Parade, and as I've said before, and as I'll say again, this is a phenomenal series. For those of you a fan of Jinsei Kataoka, who also did Dead Man Wonderland and also Living Stone, both fantastic series. By the way, both released in English, and both are completed manga, so if you're looking for great series, definitely check out Jinsei Kataoka, and Smokin' Parade is just another series that she's working on and is fantastic. So yeah, nice to get Volume 4 of that. Next book up is The Promised Neverland Volume 4. For me, this is finally new material. And I'm really happy to have this. I believe I showed this off in one of my previous videos. However, this is technically a new volume. The first volume of Volume 4 I got of The Promised Neverland was damaged, and I sent that one back to Amazon, and then got this copy from Right Stuff. And of course, as we all know, Right Stuff does their packaging right, so this one came in great quality. So nice to have a condition that I'm happy with, I should say. Okay, next book up is Volume 5 of Golden Kamui. This continues to be one of the best, if not the best, new manga out under, I'd say, well, I guess 5 volumes. I think it's brilliant. I love the story. I love the characters. If you guys want to hear more, I did a first impressions on it. The artwork is insane. Everything about this manga is really fantastic and truly one of the best new series that I've read in a long time. Just for multiple reasons. And so if you haven't checked it out yet, I'd recommend it. And if you want to get a little bit more insight or feedback on what I feel about it, definitely check out my first impressions of it. I basically could say everything I just said for Golden Kamui about this next manga as well, and that is To Your Eternity Volume 5 as well. Again, if you want to hear more of my thoughts, check out my first impressions on it, and I would probably say this is the second best new manga that I'm currently reading under 5 volumes. So yeah, check this one out, and again, if you want to hear my thoughts on it, please feel free to check out my first impressions, because I do make those quite often for the majority of the new series that I get. Really, if I don't make a first impressions on it, it's either because I have nothing good to say about it, or because it's so, you know, popular, there's really no need for me to make a video on it in that regard as well. So keep that in mind. Next book up, this is a new series, looked kind of interesting. It is called Highrise Invasion. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. It kind of, flipping through it, it kind of reminded me of like a Battle Royale mixed with Gantz, with, you know, a little less graphic, you know, mature themes in it. That's kind of what I got the feeling of it on. I don't know if that's true or not, but it looked interesting enough to get at least the first volume. And as you can see, it is a 2-in-1, so a lot of content here as well for, well, it's 20 bucks here, but on Right Stuff, I think I paid like 14 for it. So a good price for 2 volumes, essentially, for a brand new series. So nice to get volume 1 and 2 of Highrise Invasion. Next book up is volume 6 of To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. This manga has really ticked it up a notch in terms of quality recently. I've really been enjoying it. It's been, if you guys don't know, it's essentially based off of the aftermath of a civil war. One side created beasts in order to help win the war, and now this manga is about taming them, about killing them off, and a lot of other stuff happens in between. It's really a fantastic series, and as I've said, it only gets better and better with each volume, so excited to get into volume 6. Alright, after that, I have, speaking of I Am a Hero previously, I did get the 6th omnibus to this manga, and this one is my favorite zombie manga of all time. I mean, I haven't read too many of them. This one's definitely by far the best. Creepy, eerie, really different and unique main character, great world setting. Everything about this series really speaks to me as a fan of manga, as a fan of horror, and as a fan of zombies. So really, if you're a fan of any one of those 3 things, definitely get I Am a Hero, and just excited to see where it goes from here. Next book up is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Volume 9. It's been a while since I've read this, but like I've said before, I was surprised how much I enjoyed the first 5 or so volumes, so I continue to buy it, knowing that I'll can read it eventually down the road, and I'll probably enjoy it. But again, it's been a while since I've read any of this, so definitely all new material, and yeah, excited to see where it ends up going from where I left off. Okay, after that, here's another new series, and some of these, I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be my thing, but as I try to do with most manga, I try to give them a shot and pick up at least the first volume and then decide from there. And so I got volume 1 of How to Treat Magical Beasts, Mind and Master's Medical Journal. Again, I have no idea if this is going to be something that interests me, but I'm always a fan of 7 Seas. I think they've been putting out a lot of great series recently. It kind of reminded me of the Ancient Magus Bride, just from the art style and the kind of synopsis that it gave. I don't know if that's correct or not, but just a little bit reminded me of that manga, and I'm a fan of that series, so I figured I'd give this one a shot as well. Looks interesting. The artwork looks pretty strong, despite the more cutesy caricatures for our main characters, but overall, should be interesting, and looking forward to it. Kind of in that same vein, here's another series that I'm kind of hesitant on, but I decided to pick up the first 2 volumes because they were available and on sale, and that is Monster Tamer Girls. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this one, so if you guys have read this or have any feedback on it, I'd love to hear from you, get some kind of general consensus on if this manga is good, great, or worth passing on. I honestly have no idea, but I figured I'd give it a shot, and again, with it being on sale, I figured I'd get volumes 1 and 2, so yeah, should be interesting. These volume quality here from Yen Press, these ones are really nice. It has the matte finish on it. Also, I love the spine designs as well. So overall, very quality volume for a great price. Got volume 2 of the Saga of Tanya the Evil. This was actually a mistake. I was gonna put it in my to add or my wish list section, but I accidentally put it in my cart and then bought it anyways. I was gonna hold off because I haven't read volume 1 yet, and I don't want to get volume 2 of a series like this where I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be my thing. However, I have it now, so I might as well read it. These first 2 volumes. Again, I got volume 1 of the Saga of Tanya the Evil because of how much praise I heard for the light novel, and as you know me, I prefer manga, so I figured I'd get that and give it a shot. But again, I haven't read it yet, so we'll have to see, but looks interesting to say the least. Very different, and also the cover is fantastic, so nice to get that. Coming down to the last couple volumes here, here's another new series. This one I'm actually really excited to read, and I'd be surprised if I don't make a follow-up video on it, and that is Demon Slayer Volume 1 here. It's a brand new series from Viz Media. Overall, I just think it looks interesting, and I've heard a lot of people say very positive things about it, so when I get around to reading this first volume, I'll probably do a first impression so you guys know my thoughts. This is going to be one of the first brand new series from Viz with their new logo starting off from Volume 1, so at the very least, I'm not going to have to worry about spine continuity, and you guys know that bothers me, unlike a lot of people, or actually maybe not, after I made that video ranting about the logo change mid-series. It seems like a lot of you agree with me, so at least here we have that, but yeah, excited to get Demon Slayer, looks interesting, and I'm excited to read it. Okay, let's finish it off. I got volume 14 of One Punch Man. As you guys know, this is definitely a top 10 favorite all-time manga for me. It is that good. And I haven't been reading it specifically because I don't want to get to a point in the series where I want to continue on, but I can't because there's no more material. So I found a good stopping point, and I'm going to wait there for, you know, a while before I can get at least like 10 or so more volumes to read. But of course, as they come out, I will be picking up the volumes. And to finish off this manga haul, I got volume 73 of Bleach. Now, one thing that I'm actually happy that they did was not change the logo. So I was under the impression that every single volume from here on out, regardless of anything, was going to get the new logo, but at the very least, it looks like for Bleach, because we're 70 plus volumes in, we're going to be getting the same logo for the final bit. So that's nice, I appreciate that, and yeah, excited to get volume 73. So that is my manga haul, guys. Again, I apologize for the long hiatus. I just didn't have a camera to film. I tried with my phone, but it's weird the way that, you know, when you bring things in frame and out of frame, it makes it blurry and has to refocus, which looks terrible. And I figured I would just get a new camera and do it that way instead of trying to piece it together with my smartphone. But yeah, guys, that is my manga haul for the month of July. Thank you so much for watching, but until next time, my name is InsidiousSwede. Take care.